rage like real. I ain't taking L's in Madden all year.
Yo. What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to show you guys this lost coverages part 2 for Madden 23. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn those post notifications on. So just in case you're curious, I am in the multiple defensive playbook. Again, I'm in the multiple defensive playbook. Now, you definitely don't need to be in the multiple defense to actually do this coverage shell. You can do this out of any 3-down lineman front or 4-down lineman front. So we could use, so I'm gonna use nickel 3-3 normal, which is 3-3-5 normal. I'm gonna use this for today's video, but also towards the end, I'm actually gonna show you what it looks like for a 4-down lineman defense. So if you like running nickel over, maybe you like big nickel over G, maybe you like some other nickel formation where you have 4 defensive linemen. I'll show you how I would do it, but I'm gonna show you in nickel 3-3-5 because this is an extremely popular defense, as you guys already know. So anyways, the first thing that's most important is personnel. Now, if you're using 3-3-5 normal, you should already be familiar with personnel. It's gonna be your normal personnel that you would do. But I'm gonna explain to you if maybe you haven't ran this before or you just want to know my recommendations for personnel. So you always want to put your best 3 pass rushers right here, whoever they are. Even if you have a good outside linebacker that can rush the pass, you put them here. But ends are definitely okay in this defense. Just 3 of your best pass rushers. Simple, simple, simple. Now, right here in these spots right here, these 3 where 27, 29, 38 are, you want to put fast safeties there. Preferably somebody you can use her at any point, but you really gonna need speed in this position and where number 38 is. It really helps to have speed in those 2 positions, but you really want speed in all 3 to make it yourself easier. Now, everything else self-explanatory. Just whoever you want on the back end, whether you want speed, coverage, it's up to you. But I'm just using the Panthers for now. This is how I would do my Panthers roster, if that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is come out and cover 1 robber press, because that's what we want to base our coverage out of. Now, this coverage that I'm calling it is cover 3 trap is what I'm gonna call it. Now, this could have been called something else in other Maddens, but I just know it is cover 3 trap, so that's what I'm gonna call it. So we're gonna come out and cover 1 robber press, and that's what I like to do it out of. So what you want to do, you can do this versus any formation. Now, the only formation I don't like doing this against is formations like trips tight end offset. So the one where they don't have any receiver to the right side. Now, you can use this with bunch tight end. You just really can't do it with trips tight end, and I'm gonna show you why. Actually, I'm gonna start off showing you why we can't do it that way. Actually, that don't make any sense. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come out and just bunch tight end, and we're gonna come out and just PA boot over, extremely popular play. Now, the reason we can do this is anytime that you have your cornerback on the outside to the right, you'll be able to do this. Now, you might be saying, "Real, shouldn't it be that way all the time?" And I'm gonna show you when it's not that way. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the coverage shell behind it. So as a rule of thumb, normally I like to do the coverage shell to my blitzing guy right here. But every so often, it'll be formations like this where it just wouldn't make sense to do that. So in formations that are bunch typically and bunch tight end, you have to do it opposite, because we want to do our cover 3 shell to the field. So what that means is the field is going to be over here to this side. This is the side that you want to do your cover 3 shell to, and the reason why is because you want to be able to zone drop if you need to, but you also can do it to this side, so you can alternate between both of them. It's up to you. So I'm gonna show you my preferred way to do it. I love to just, if you're slow in your setups, you want to use the side that has the blitzing guy already. So what you're gonna do is take the outside corner. So we're gonna take square. So I double tap triangle, I'm gonna select square. You want to put them in the outside third. Now, this safety right here, you have 2 options. Normally, I like to put the safety to the strong side. So this is the strong side of the formation because there's 3 receivers. I like to take him and put him in the middle third, because sometimes if you leave it this way, sometimes this middle third won't get there, and they'll have a gap right here that you see where I'm at, and they'll actually just keep exploiting that. So you want to take this guy right here, you want to put him in the inside third, and normally I like to grab him and blitz him. Now, last thing you want to do is double tap the right directional, select square, whoever the blitzing guy is. You want to put him either in a purple or put him in a hard flat. It's all up to you, depends on what you're doing, whether you're zone dropping. But if I'm not zone dropping, normally I like to leave him in a flat, because a lot of times people like to run drag routes, and this is going to really help. Now, last thing I like to do, and this is completely optional, okay? So what I like to do is anybody, or the linebacker slash safety that's covering the slot receiver or the outside, whichever one's not the outside, I like to take this guy, normally him, and I like to put him in a hook curl like this, or I'll leave him in a spy. So a lot of times if they're athletic at quarterback, I'll leave him in a spy and he'll do a great job. If they're not so athletic and they want to sit in the pocket, then I'll put them in hook zone. Now, what's important is you can put them on a hook right or you can put them on a hook left. It depends on how far over you move them. It literally just depends. So you can alternate between which one you think is best. Now, normally I like to put my hook zone to the right side, and that's going to help out in coverage. So my responsibility in this defense is going to be the flats in this area over here. So I have a lot to lurk, and that's pretty much what I want to do. Now, if you want to make it easier on yourself, sometimes you can take this guy right here and you can put him in, you can bump him over and put him in a hard flat, or you could, put him in a purple. And then, you can zone drop if you want to. So if you do it this way, you're basically going to be working from the middle, and then you're going to be working to the, this intermediate area over here. So it literally just depends. So normally to start off, I really love to put my hook curl on either side. It doesn't really matter. So what we're going to do here is snap the ball. We're going to kind of see right here. So notice what happens. We're going to kind of lurk there. Then we're going to be able to come up and then lurk that. Now, if you don't like that, you also can run the play opposite. And sometimes some formations, it is better to run it to the other side. So notice we ran our cover 3 to this side, right? So what happens here is that our third is going to end up having to run with this. And sometimes you can get bombed if you're not careful with this particular play. Now, that's just this particular play. But all we have to do is flip our coverage, if that makes sense. So what we could do is put the cover 3 to this side, which is what I would probably recommend anyway versus this type of formation. So I just want to show you just kind of how it plays. It's really man and it's cover 3 at the same time. So it's just, your user, you have to have a really good user to play this defense. That's why it's not as popular, I believe, this year, but it's still a really great defense. So if you want to know my rule of thumb, now that you've kind of seen how this would work, my rule of thumb is wherever the strong side, basically to the field. I love doing my cover 3 shell to the field. Now what that means is that since the ball's in the middle, it's kind of hard to tell. So if the ball's in the middle, you want to judge it based on formation. Now the field in this scenario is going to be on this side. Why is that? Because most of the time all the routes on this side are going to be ran on this side of the field, if that makes sense. So it's going to be like a flood. So you want to be able to prepare yourself for that. So I would actually take this, if I was in game, I would take circle, put him on the outside third. Now this guy's already in the third, so we actually don't even have to do nothing to him. So I can actually grab this guy if I want to. Now, at this point, I like to actually take X, who's responsible for the running back, and put him in a purple. And then normally I like to take square right here and I'll put him in a hook zone. So normally I'll do something like this, or I'll actually take square and I'll put him in a hard flat. It just depends, whichever one, but I love doing it like this. And lastly, I like to shade over the top. So you might be wondering, Rel, why do you like to shade over the top? Because we're going to press. And if you press and don't shade over the top, you're taking a chance of this guy right here, one of these two, getting a great win animation. If they get a great win animation, let me go to the defense. So if they get a great win animation, who do we have over the top? Absolutely nobody. So it's important to shade over the top. And remember, you can zone drop. Okay, so you could put the clouds at like 5 or 0, or you could put the purple at 20, and you could play a double Mabel cover 3 as well, and I'll show you that here in a second. Well, not double Mabel, you'll play a single side Mabel coverage, and I'll show you that here in a second. But anyways, in this kind of defense, you're literally just looking for the leakage, and you can tell it really does a great job. So it's a really great defense. Now I'll kind of show you some more things out of another formation. So let's go with something like a spread formation, right, where it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on. So let's kind of do a real setup somebody would do. So this actually looks like a pretty decent play by itself. Yeah, most people will probably leave this play stock. If they did anything, they may take their running back, put them on a curl, maybe. But most people will run this play stock. So what I'm going to do is go back, and I'm actually going to make it stock again. Now, what I like to do, as a rule of thumb again, I like to do to the field. Now, if it's a doubles formation, there is no field, right? And they're in the middle, so you just pick a side. Normally, I like to do the right side. That's just me personally. The reason why is because we have auto flip on, so this safety is going to be to the right. So wherever the safety is, that's in the middle third, I like to do him. So what we're going to do is take circle, put him in the outside third. Now right here, we're going to take whoever's for the running back. Normally, I like to put him in a purple on that side to that. And then you could take this square right here and put him in a hook zone, or you could put him in a hard flat. So if you want a true cover 3 style, you could play it like, if you want a true cover 3 style, you could play it like this, and you'll solely be responsible for basically this side of the field over here, if you could tell. And I like to shade over the top. It's really important that you shade over the top. Please do not forget that. And also, you can quarterback attain as well. So if they want to try to get out the pocket, and then I would put Brian Burns here, who's my best pass rusher, you want to put them there. So anyways, enough talking. Let me just kind of show you. Like I said, you're looking to the left side of the field. Okay, nothing there. And then, you know, you're just kind of lurking from that point. So again, keep in mind, you can zone drop, okay? So do not forget that you can zone drop with this defense. I just love it just because you're able to just pretty much contain everything. Now, what I wanted to show you is, let's go to Trey Watt Flex. Now, Trey Watt Flex is a little different because the tight end is actually on this right side. So since he's out there, we can actually take circle and actually put him in the outside third. We could take X right here. We could put him in a hard flat or a purple. And then we can actually take this guy right here, put him in a hook zone. Now, if it's trips, I love to do a hard flat. So the way I love to do trips, if you were curious, is I like to actually zone drop these right here hard flats at 0 or 5, normally 5 for both of these hard flats. And what that's going to do is help play this drag route by the tight end if the tight end does a drag route. Now, sometimes if you're worried about it depends on what you want to lurk. So I love lurking the crossers. So let me stop talking, and remember, you want to shade over the top. I forgot to do it, but a lot of times you want to lurk it just like that because you want to play the crosser. So if you put a hard flat, you have to play the crossers. If you zone drop a purple at 25, then you can actually just play the hard flat yourself, if that makes sense. So a couple other things I want to talk about here is, let's go to something like, I think it's Trey Watt Flex Strong. Let's see. No, they're going to let you do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come out because I want to show you guys why I don't like to do this versus like trips tight end type of sets with 3-3-5 normal. And then remember, you want to come out and cover one Robert Press though. So let's go to trio offset because that's actually a really popular formation still, and it don't matter what play we come out in. So look at trio offset. So notice how our cornerback is not on this right side, right? Because our tight end is attached to the line of scrimmage. Now, if I base a line, our cornerback does go outside. So you would think that we'd be able to get those adjustments, but look what happens. We actually cannot take our cornerback, and I'll click on him just so you can see. So we can't put that guy in the outside third. So we can't play the cover 3 shell like we like. So that's why I don't like to do this particular shell versus trips tight end or anything like trips tight end. So just in case you were curious. Now, last part of this video is 4-down lineman defense. So for 4-down lineman defense, what I would do is whoever your best outside linebackers are, you want to put them at the end position. So Shaq Thompson is fine. And we'll put, I don't know who this is, but let's just say we knew he was fast or something, right? So whoever your best 2 pass rushers are, you want to put them in these 2 spots right here. And you want to have safeties at linebackers in this position. And you want to come out and cover 1 hold. That's normally I like to come out in, or any man coverage that has a hook zone already out there. So what we'll do is, I don't know, let's take a look at Trey open offset. Why not? Let's just go to the Eagle Eye cross. All right, so versus this style of defense, it's literally going to be the same thing. So you have options. Normally, I like to do, like I said, if we keep the same streak with doing the strong side, we would take circle right here. We put him in the outside third. We have our cornerback over here already in the middle third. And I like to take this guy that's responsible for the running back, put him in a purple. And now either A, we can use this guy right here, or B, now, I don't recommend you do this unless you're really good with your user, but technically you could put this guy in the hook zone and you can actually come over here, you can grab this guy, you can use this guy. Now, what's the worst thing that can happen right here? Oh, a streak to the tight end, right? But the good thing about putting the hook zone to the tight end side is going to kind of help funnel that, and we have a true cover 3 shell, if that makes sense. So they're going to have a really tough time trying to throw a streak. And I'll kind of show you that here so you can kind of see. So notice how, you know, like I said, it's really, really tough to try to throw a streak. So now, again, most people are not going to run their trips to the short side. So what we're going to do is bump the ball over and just give you a true look at it. So, again, we want to go to the field. So we will take circle, put him in the middle third. We'll take this guy right here. You can leave him in the 3-rec if you want to. It's completely up to you. You could take this guy right here, put him in a purple or hard flat if you think the running back's going to do a quick out route. But if not, you could put him in a purple. And then you grab this guy right here. Normally, I like to stand about right here. That's normally how I like to do it. Or if you're worried about them throwing like a drag route or a whip route to the tight end, remember, you can also take this guy, put him on a hard flat. So you can play a cover shell that looks like this, right? And then you will just be responsible for X quick. So, you know, say you snap the ball, you're responsible for X quick. Okay, I'll follow that. I'll pass it off. And then, you know, like I said, obviously you've seen the tight end get open, but keep in mind, we're actually rushing 4 people, you know, so it's a little bit safer of a defense because, look, we're doing a base rush of 4, so obviously something's going to break down where, you know, we have to choose between these 2 routes, but we could also do something else to drop. Basically, we can keep this guy manned up if we wanted to. We can actually use a defensive end, and on the snap of the ball, we can come out and cover. But I normally don't like to do that. I like to actually be risky and do a solid rush 4. So I love this if I have 4 great pass rushers, and that's one thing I like to do. Now, last thing I'll talk about. I know this is a long video. Stick with me. But last thing is I like to also do a true cover 3 shell, but with man coverage incorporated. So how I do that is take a circle, put him in the outside third, square in the outside third, and then we'll take this guy right here and then put him in a purple, or we can invert it if we want to, where we put that guy in the purple, and we'll play like this. And now we got a true cover 3 shell. We could even press. And now, essentially, we're just looking at the outside receivers and the running back. So we're looking for anything in the middle. So this is another one of my favorite defensive shells. Now, with this one, since we don't have any outside cornerbacks, we actually don't have to shade over the top. So what that means is that our cornerback right here that's on the Travis Kelce and the one that's on Juju, I believe that is, they're going to be able to press. And so if you want to, you could put your best press cornerbacks in these 2 slot positions, and then you'll be able to just dominate. So notice how he's going to press on R1. We can come here, and notice how now it's a lot better of a coverage, and we created a true cover 3 trap defense. And that's why I called it cover 3 trap, because that's essentially what it is, because we're playing cover 3 with our outsides. Now in practice mode, this only happens in practice mode. This don't happen as much in game where they just kind of press him like that. If you're worried about him getting off press, or if he does do something crazy in game, just shade over the top, and he'll play like a normal drop back style cover 3. So just keep that in mind too. But like I said, he'll kind of be like this in game, if that makes sense, where he'll just kind of just bump and run with them. That's pretty much what happens in game. But anyways, you can tell you have a lot in the middle, but this defense does a great job of containing the outsides, if that makes sense. So you just have to watch the middle of the field. And also keep in mind, you can put a spy with one of these defensive linemen if you want to. You can quarterback contain. There's a lot you can do out of it. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.